Well, I guess I'm old school because I have thanks to the CCAA, thanks to everyone involved from Cal Poly. I'm not sure how I got nominated to this. Somebody must have said something, but I don't know who could have remembered when I started here in 1964. So I'm the oldest one here. And it's such an honor to get this award for many reasons, but one, I didn't think I'd ever get another award at this point in my life. Anyway, so thank you so much, and I'm really honored with this. And thank you, Danny, for writing up all those good things about me. I wasn't even sure I did those, so. We'll find out. I was going to talk a little bit about history, since I'm the oldest one here, and defining moments in your life. You know, you make a lot of decisions in your life, and at that moment, you don't really know that they're going to make such a big impact on what you do. And so one of the biggest defining moments was coming to school at Cal Poly Pomona. I had the greatest coaches, and I'm sure most of us can say that because we wouldn't be here, without them. But I had great coaches, and I learned so much from them. They taught me so many lessons. So they gave me the foundation to teach at UC Riverside, teach and coach. And so I give thank you. Some of them are up there, so a lot of them aren't here anymore. So thank you so much. And we had to learn by doing, and I still see that on a lot of the things that Cal Poly sends out. So learn by doing. It wasn't theory; it was all practical, and so it was great. So the '60s, Stone Age of women's sports. Okay, so I was here in 1964. There was very, very limited opportunities for women to compete. So I was really athletic. I, threw the ball. My dad was a pitcher, and my brother played tennis and was here. And, so I played, but there was no sports in high school. So I played, we had these play days once in a while, so people from your own school would get together and you played some sports, but that was it, not very competitive. And I played on the boys tennis team at Kenesha High School. It's right down the road here, but they wouldn't allow me to compete in the California Intercollegiate Federation. So my high school athletics was pretty nil. So when I got the opportunity to come to Cal Poly Pomona, I was just so excited because they had teams and they had sports and they had coaches. So I just loved that aspect, because then I could be the athlete that I wanted to be and be competitive. We were at that time, so I'm not sure when the CCAA started for women, but we weren't in the CCAA. We were in, and I still can't believe I remember this, the ECCSCC, Extramural Coordinating Council of Southern California Colleges. And then we were in the Southern California Women's Intercollegiate Athletic Association, SCIA, which is still there, but it didn't have women. So you can sort of get the idea there. And we played UCLA and USC and Long Beach State because it was just everybody together. It wasn't divided into small and large schools or divisions. So it was a completely different situation, but I loved it. Because we were able to play. The thing is, I always write this out and then I never look at it. I don't know where I am. So athletics were sort of not that acceptable at that time, socially acceptable, and you had to be, Rosalind, I don't know if you wore the nails and had all the makeup because we did this, so we looked more feminine. And at Cal Poly, we were down here, and then there was this gap. There were none of these buildings, and you had to go way up there to campus. But we were not allowed to wear slacks, which I'm wearing today. We had to wear skirts or dresses, because we had out the image of being feminine. So just to give you the idea what athletics were like then, we've come so far in what we're doing. And I was able to play 5 sports. I think you didn't mention badminton, but
I apologize.
yeah. Because seasons were really short. They were about 7 weeks. You went from one season to the next. So I played 2 and 2 and 1 at the very end. And the uniforms that we had were then passed down from volleyball to basketball to softball. Limited resources. So we just used the same uniforms. And I know at UCR one time we sewed our own uniforms, so that was sort of a disaster. I think that's why we got money after that to buy uniforms. But so there were no scholarships, no meal money. We had bare basics, and we did have a trainer here, but we had to tape ourselves most of the time for away games. But we knew how to tape ourselves because we learned that here. So we've just come so far, and just it's just crazy. And when I got the job at UC Riverside, that was just another defining moment. Something that was the beginning of athletics, the beginning of volleyball, and so I was able to help grow the sport and women's athletics, so that we started I started in 1970. 1972 was Title IX, which was a huge change, giving the opportunities to women. And as we continued, then we were in the CCAA and competed, and that was, again, a great league. We competed in that for probably about 25 years or 30 years, because we were in Division I in the Big West for my last 10 years. Last thing on the history is we served punch and cookies after the games, because it was more social than competitive, except for me, because I was and I hated that punch and cookies thing, because if you won, you just want to celebrate with your team, and if you lose, you really never wanted to see them again. So punch and cookies was something that we did. Anyway, my time at UCR was tremendous. My career was based on great timing, because I was one of the first. I was able, just before I got my job at UC Riverside, I was able to play on the national team for USA Volleyball and play in the World Championships, and then I went to UCR, so I got a lot of opportunities just because of that. Last thing, all of us that competed and all of us that coached and had these really good careers, and some of you are still doing it. I'm retired, but I am coaching high school boys volleyball at Claremont High School, so I'm still involved. But winning national championships, getting your players as All-Americans, all those wonderful, and the awards, are all wonderful. But the great thing about coaching is, growing people. And one of the things John Scalinas, that some of you might know from Cal Poly, great baseball coach, he would tell his players every year, everyone can't be the best athlete in the world, but everyone can be a person of character. And I think that's what we're striving to do, is not only coaching great athletes, but coaching people, and just giving them an opportunity to grow and to be confident. And I talk about, again, Rosalind, the excellence, you learn that in sports, to do everything at the very highest level that you can, to be the very best you can. And so as coaches, that's what it's all about. And if you get some awards, that's awesome. So thank you again. I had a great career, and it was because of all of you and all that you have given me. So thank you, and I'm honored.